Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji's Dandavat Pranam. So very warm welcome to all of you for this Gita Sadhaka English class. So we've been doing this class from past few months. So we've been covering the 108 important shlokas in this class. So in generally, Secrets of Gita Revealed is the basic course. So some of them have done this course and some of them are recently done. Some of them have done in the past, like somewhere in the October or something. So we being continuing those classes after that. So it's a follow-up course. So those who are joining for the first time, if you do not have the idea, so I'm trying to give this idea. So in this, we are covering 108 important shlokas, which are given by Srila Prabhupada, who is the Samsthapak Acharya or the founder Acharya of the ISKCON International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So he has been quoted these verses and he has been emphasized that, these verses are very, very important. All the verses in Bhagavad Gita is important because it is spoken by the Lord, right? But as a part of this course, we will be covering the 108 important shlokas. But apart from that, you should have a homework of covering those shlokas which we are not discussing in the class. Like the last shloka was 2.46. Now today we are going to discuss 2.59. So whatever verses we have left from 2.47 to 2.58, you have to go through them. You have to read the translation and the purports in your Bhagavad Gita as it is book. And then you have to try to understand. If you have some questions or some concerns where you got stuck or something like that, you can come back to us and you can contact us to get that clarity, like what this mean and how we have to take that and all, right? So just because we are not doing every shloka, it doesn't mean that you also have to skip. Okay. So you do that as a homework. So today, as a part of this class, we will discuss 2.59. Okay. So I will share the verse. So what we will do is we will recite the verse and then we will we will read the translation, we will read the purport, and after that, we will have some discussion on how to take this verse or how to implement this verse, how we can understand in a better way. So such things we'll try to discuss in brief. So I'm just going to the Veda base. Two 2.59. Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do is, in general, this is the practice. I will say once and you have to repeat twice. Okay. So I'll say once and you have to repeat twice. So first we will go line by line. So first this line, then second, then third, then fourth. And in the next round, we will complete these two. Like, the first two lines we will cover and then you have to repeat twice. And then the rest of the two lines we will do it. And then you have to repeat after me twice. And after that, in the third round, all the four lines I will chant in one go and you have to repeat that twice. So here you have to hear well. Okay. So then only you'll be able to pronounce well. So the screen sharing is being done so that you can look at it and pronounce well. Okay. So these are spoken by Krishna. So we should try to keep our pronunciation as close as how Krishna has spoken. Okay. So it is difficult for some of us because we are not from a background where we chant Sanskrit verses just like that. So it will be difficult. And you should not also feel like, oh, if I spell something or pronounce something wrong, then will it be an aparadha? Okay. So don't worry about that. Krishna will consider all of us as like small babies. Okay. So just like when our baby starts speaking, even though he speaks broken words, it still looks sweet and cute for all of us, right? Why? Because they are trying to learn and we will encourage them and we will tell like, okay, chalega, koi problem nahi hai. You try again, right? So similarly, Krishna will have that mood. Okay, you don't pronounce properly on the first go, but you at least have to put your effort. And maybe over a period of time with the proper practice, you can pronounce 100% well. Okay, so we'll do it. विषया विनिवर्तन्ते
विषया
विनिवर्तन्ते
निराहारस्य देहिनः
निराहारस्य देहिनः
रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य
रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य
परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते
Very good. Now we'll go two lines together. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah.
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते आहारस्य देहिनः विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः
रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते
Very good. Now the biggest challenge. I'll recite all the four lines. So here carefully, what I'll do is I will do it two times. Okay. So here carefully. So after I finish two times, then you do it two times. Okay. विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते
विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते विरहारस्य
रस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते
या विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते
विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः
Okay, good enough. So is anyone ready to recite this verse without seeing? Can anyone try that? Without looking. Now I'll stop the screen share. Okay, you have seen it. You have pronounced it. So can someone want to try? Yeah, sure.
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्ज्यं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
Hari Bol. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Very nice. Okay, so now we will continue with the translation. So yes, Uma Mataji, what you do is you read the translation. How you have to read, like 2 to 3 words you read, and after that you stop, and we all will repeat after you. Okay, so like this you complete the translation. Yes, Uma Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Though the embodied soul
Though the embodied soul
may be restricted from
may be restricted from
sense enjoyment,
sense enjoyment,
the taste for
the taste for
sense objects
sense
remains.
objects remains.
Remains.
But seizing such
But seizing such
engagements by
engagements by
experiencing a higher taste,
experiencing a higher taste,
he is fixed in consciousness.
is fixed in consciousness.
Consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji. So I want someone else to read the purport. Okay, so in purport reading, what we do, the person who starts reading, no, he will only read or she will only read. we all will carefully listen to the purport. Okay. And after that, we will have some class on this. Yes, someone has raised. Yes, Bhuvana Sunku Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please read Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Unless one is transcendentally situated, it is not possible to cease from sense enjoyment. The process of restriction from sense enjoyment by rules and regulations is something like restricting a diseased person from certain types of eatables. The patient, however, neither likes such restrictions nor loses his taste from eatables. Similarly, sense restriction by some spiritual process like Ashtanga Yoga in the matter of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara,
Dharana.
Dhyana, etc. is recommended for less intelligent persons who have no better knowledge. But one who has tasted the beauty of the Supreme Lord Krishna in the course of his advancement in Krishna consciousness no longer has a taste for dead material things. Therefore, restrictions are there for the less intelligent neophytes in the spiritual advancement of life. But such restrictions are only good until one actually has taste for Krishna consciousness. When one is actually Krishna conscious, he automatically loses his taste for pale things. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So we'll try to understand this purport, and it is a very, very important verse. Okay, so of course it is a part of 108 important shlokas. But for us who are sadhakas in this Krishna conscious journey, okay, some of you have started your journey very recently, right? Maybe 1 month old, 2 month old, or some of you might be 6 months, 1 year, or some of you might be very senior also. Okay, so we don't know, it's an online section. So, who are joining, who are experienced, who knows how much, it is very difficult to ascertain. But yeah, so we can understand that we are from a different background, right? We are little old or very old or new or very new. We don't know. But whoever we are, this verse is for all of us, right? So here, Prabhupada is talking about that, restricting the things are like we are restricting a deceased person. Okay. So all of us have gone through that deceased time. Okay. So when our stomach is upset, we are not allowed to eat some oily food or some masala food, right? When we have cold or cough, we are not allowed to eat some, ice creams or drink some cool drinks, etc. Right? And when we have diabetes, we are not allowed to eat the sweets, right? And if we have a hypertension or blood pressure, then we are not allowed to eat something which is very spicy or very salty. So everywhere we have restrictions. Now, all of those restrictions are externally there, but internally we all have taste for it, right? A person who is diabetic, he knows that he will die if the sugar suits up, if the diabetes suits up by eating some sweets, he will die. Okay, in spite of knowing that, his taste for eating the sweets will not go. That is why we have an invention of sugar free biscuits or sugar free sweets or something like that, right? So we have a taste. That is why these inventions has to take place. So though there is a restriction from the outside, externally we are saying no, but internally it is yes only, right? So now how to convert this internal yes into internal no also for those things which we are externally saying no. So it is not good that, we can restrict for some time. Okay, because of rules and regulations, or because to respect someone, or because to take care of our health and all. But that is all austerity. That will be a tapasya. That means we have to volunteer to feel inconvenient about saying no to all the things which are actually supposed to say no, right? So just like for an example, for a diabetic person, it's like a tapasya. All the other people in our house, they are eating and we are not allowed to eat. And if we are touching also, they are insulting us. Aapko sharam nahi aati, itni diabetes rakh ke bhi you are eating this, right? So you don't have, you don't have sense, or you don't have a concern. Like this only you ate and now you are diabetic. So much we have to hear. Okay, so these restrictions are like very big tapasya, very big austerity. So it is very difficult to go through this austerity. right? So similarly, like this diabetes, in our Krishna consciousness also, many people, why they don't take up to bhakti or any spiritual practices? Because they know that I have to give up so many things. And many people think that, doing bhakti or coming to God means I have to say so many no's to so many enjoyments. So many people think like, bhakti or coming to God or being called conscious means I have to give up my enjoyment. I have to be like a pale person, neutral person, no enjoyment. So that is the reason many people don't take up devotional life or they don't take up any spiritual path, right? Maybe they may start by some inspiration, some force, thinking that, okay, it will be good. But as soon as they come to know about the austerities of the spiritual life, they will feel like, it's okay. I will try to be outside this bhakti or outside the spiritual path. I am okay with this. Okay. Yeah, there are problems, but still okay. I cannot go through this much of austerity. Right. So when people share about their Krishna conscious journey and they say, like, we get up in the morning at 3:30 and we get ready, we go to the temple, we attend the Mangal Aarti at the 4:30 a.m. And 5 o'clock we'll have Narsing Aarti and then Tulsi Aarti. At 5:15 we will have our japa session where we will be chanting 16 rounds, 5:15 to 7:15, 2 hours we will be chanting at sitting at one place. And after 7:15 like that we will have Shringar Aarti, right? And then we will have Guru Puja, Guru Vandana, and then we will have Srimad Bhagavatam class. So around 9:30, from 4:30 to 9:30 our program is like that. And after 9:30, if we have office or other works we can carry on. And if we are like fully devoted to the Lord and we are full-time devotees like that, staying in temple, then we go on book distribution, we take different classes, we go for other services and all. So this is what our life. And in the evening when we come back, we have Sandhya Arti, we have Gaura Arti, again Tulsi Arti will be there, then Shayana Arti will be there. And if we have to chant some more rounds or we have to do some study of Srimad Bhagavatam or any other scriptures, we will do like that. Now, after sharing all this program, have you heard any word called as enjoyment? Or if
No,
someone
Prabhupada.
is hearing for the first time, will he get any sense of enjoyment in our description?
No, Prabhu.
He will say like 3:30 you get up. My God, I sleep at 3:30, right? And 4:30 you go to temple. Oh, that too every day. Okay. And you do for 2 hours sitting at one place chanting one mantra. Oh my God, such an austerity. Impossible. I cannot do it in my dreams also. So I don't want to take up, right? So many think that there is no enjoyment. But those who are actually doing sincerely every day, no, they look forward to do it again and again. All right. Many devotees, they don't say after chanting 16 rounds, ki, chalo aaj ka quota ho gaya. Today's quota is finished. Now till tomorrow, I don't want to see that chanting bag or chanting beads and all. I don't want to chant Hare Krishna till tomorrow morning. Like that, they don't say. They will feel like, oh, 16 rounds are over. I want to chant more. Sometimes they feel bad because I don't have time to chant more. Right. And they look forward, oh, when the morning will happen. They jump out of their bed at 3:30. Okay. Many of us will struggle to get up at 3:30, even to get up at 5:30 also many of us struggle. But some devotees who are like advanced in bhakti, they jump out of their bed to get up and they want to see the Lord's darshan. They live in the same temple, they are looking at the deities from 20, 30 years, but still they are excited to see the deities. Right. Now when we hear these stories, when we talk about these kind of devotees, will feel like, how come this is possible? Right. I don't have such an interest. How come they are so much interested, and how come they are not bored? How come they have still the same taste, same enthusiasm towards the Lord? So the reason is they have a higher taste. Okay. So we do not have the higher taste. So for us, it looks like an austerity, right? Tapasya means so much of inconvenience. But for them, it is a joyful method, right? So there are two things in Krishna consciousness. One is austerity and second is higher taste. So initially, we can push our journey based on rules and regulations. We are doing some austerity, but after some time we are no more in the austerity, we are actually having the higher taste. That means today if I say that you have to chant 16 rounds, so many of you feel like tired. Okay, so oh, I have to chant 16 rounds. Oh, they told me I had to. So like that, a compulsion, a kind of imposition on you that you have to chant, right? That kind of feeling will be there. But over a period of time, when we grow in bhakti, we will actually chant 16 rounds and we'll be more energetic. See, generally, when we are chanting, we are connecting to Krishna, and Krishna is the source of all energies, right? Mattah sarvam pravartate. Okay, everything emanates from him. He is the source of everything. So, when we chant his name, when we connect to him, we should get energy. But now, what is happening when we chant, we actually get drained of our energy. Why? Because there is a lot of struggle inside our consciousness. Our mind is saying, think about this, you have to do this, you have to do that, and all. Everything which is not related to Krishna, it will bring up. Right, all the pop-up images will come. What is supposed to be done today, tomorrow, what happened 5 years back, 10 years back. So many things will come, and we are trying to go opposite to our mind's will. Okay, our mind won't chant. Okay, it is not interested to chant, but we want to chant. Okay, the soul is willing to chant, but the mind is opposing. So this tussle, this tug of war is going on in our consciousness. So because of this, what happens? After chanting, we might feel tired, right? Or we might feel not so much interested to do extra rounds or more than what we have scheduled to do, or what we are supposed to do, right? But those devotees who have a higher taste, they will not have any tug of war. They are clearly, completely convinced that I am chanting and I am experiencing Krishna. And because of that, their journey continues. Right. So in the 2.58, Krishna talks about how we have to restrict all our senses from the sense objects. Right. He gives an example of tortoise. Just like a tortoise, how it brings all his arms, all his limbs, even its own head inside, right, whenever it sees some danger or some kind of inconvenience, right? So similarly, that example is given that when a devotee sees some sense objects. Now, what is the meaning of sense objects? Those objects from which the senses will have pleasure, or senses will have an infatuation, or an affection, or kind of inclination of having pleasure through them, right? So those are called as sense objects. For ears, listening something entertaining, right? For eyes, looking something entertaining, or for mouth or for our voice to speak something that can entertain us, right? So we want to have some bliss, some pleasure, okay, some sukha, some santosha, some ananda from the sense objects. Okay, so Krishna says that those who are on the path of self-realization, Arjuna asked, like, those who are on the path of self-realization, how they act, okay, or how they look, or how they live. So all these answers Krishna is giving, and in that journey of giving the answers on 2.58, he gives the example of tortoise, right? But there is a problem, or there is a weakness in the strategy which Krishna clears in 2.59, right? So tortoise like example is okay, it is good to hear, and we may try for some time, but for a longer time this won't work, right? See, we also try to restrict our children. Okay, we want to discipline them, but they will be under our control until they are dependent on us. Once they find some independence, or they start thinking, I can actually trespass all these instructions, I can discipline myself on my own terms, I need not go through all this parents' terms, from that moment he'll go out of the control, right? So it is being said that for 5 years we have to give him a lot of love, and from 5 to 15 we have to try to chastise, and from 15 or in the teenagers we have to be with them like a friend, right? So Chanakya says age wise how we have to be with the children. So same approach for all the years doesn't work. Similarly, when we are restricted in the initial stages of bhakti, that is good. Okay, that's how we will try to develop some kind of discipline in us, but that won't continue for a long time. Okay, we have to shift the gear from austerity to higher taste. Okay, now how we can get the higher taste? Okay, you are talking about having higher taste and all, but what is this higher taste? And especially the word in this verse, something like ruchi has not seen. Like, have you seen? I'll just share the verse again. Have you seen the word ruchi? Taste means ruchi, no? So have you seen any word in this verse?
Rasam.
No, rasa is not also taste. So actually, you see, yeah, drishtva. Okay. So actually, drishtva means something related to seeing, right? Watching, isn't it? So how Prabhupada ji has translated that into taste. Now, this taste is not always related to the tongue. Okay, it also related to our, our conceptions, our knowledge, our idea, or our kind of, our inclinations, our choices. All this is also related to the taste. If someone, sometimes, we comment like, if someone is having a relationship with a boy or a girl, and if that boy or girl is not so good looking or not so handsome, then what we will comment on them?
You don't have taste.
You don't have taste. ये तुम्हारा taste इतना खराब है क्या? Right? Why you are hanging on with that guy or with that girl, right? So if someone wears some dress which is not so good, then they say like, dress में तुम्हारा dress selection में तुम्हारा taste अच्छा नहीं है. Or, whenever we talk about aesthetics, okay, we talk about the taste, isn't it? The interior that we have, the products or the people that we choose, we say that our taste, isn't it? So similarly, when Krishna is talking about drishtva, it means taste. Okay, taste in the terms of our conceptions that we have, that will change. And not only that, even the taste for the tongue also will change, right? We're talking about the food that we ate. We call it as prasadam because it is being offered to Krishna, right? So that will also have a higher taste. Okay, our knowledge will also have a higher taste. Our realization will also have a higher level. So all of this will happen when we continue in bhakti. Okay, now we are living in the world where lot of promises are made about pleasure, but we don't get that pleasure. In the anticipation of pleasure, we have lot of pleasure more than the actual, right? So we think that, someday, after some days, I will settle in my life, then I will do this, I will do that, I will have this, I will say this, I can show this, I can achieve this. So many anticipations and aspirations we have when we are working on something, right? And we always postpone to be happy because we feel like, once I achieve this, once I become that, I will become happy. Okay, and you become that sometimes. Okay, maybe not all your desires come true, not your all dreams come true, but you actually become something. Okay, you achieve something. But the imagination that you have about achieving something, or how you will be after achieving that, and when you check with the reality check, when happens like this was my imagination and this is the reality, then this gap is called as the frustration, right? So you expected, you imagine that you will be happy after achieving this, but it is not so glorious or so glamorous, which I thought earlier. So I'll share some example. There was one Prabhuji who is a very senior devotee in ISKCON. Okay, so I'll share his name also because I listened to many of his videos. So once he shared that, he always wanted to come first in his class. Okay, so he was amongst the toppers. Okay, he was coming second, third, sometimes twin sharing of the first rank. Okay, but he was never first alone or exclusively. Okay, in his schooling, in his +2 intermediate, and in his graduation. So somehow he was coming in one of the toppers, but he was not the topper. Okay, but one day what happened in the third year of engineering, he wrote GRE. Okay, and GRE, many people find it tough, but his English was very good. From childhood, he has a habit of, reading the words and their multiple meanings, and how one word can be used for different context and all. So like that interest he had. So GRE, he actually, I think GRE for the score of 2,400, he got 2,350. And in the history of his college, no one has got that many marks. So he was not only topper by the class, but he was not only a topper of the college, but total university. No one has scored that much in a GRE exam. So he was actually now on the peak, or Satwa Asman, seventh heaven, he was there. Okay. And many people used to come and congratulate him for his achievement and all. So for some days it went on and he was happy. But one day, what happened? Three of his friends met him and they didn't congratulate him. They didn't spoke anything about GRE. Okay, and he got habituated to meet anyone, and they will talk about his top. He's being top in the GRE and all. So three friends he met, but they could not share anything about it. So he tolerated for the first time. Then second time also when they met, that time also they didn't speak about it. Third time also they didn't speak. Now this became an agitation for him. And he started asking like, why didn't you ask, congratulate me because I was the topper? Okay. Now what happened that Prabhuji was sharing his realization that earlier I was happy to become one of the topper, but I never had this agitation that, who will come and who is congratulating me, who is not congratulating me. This kind of agitation was not there. Now, after becoming a topper, actually, my dependence on others to make me happy has increased. Now, if others are not congratulating me, I am not becoming happy. If others are congratulating, I am becoming happy. So what is happening? I'm becoming more dependent on them to become happy, right? So I thought when I become the topper, I will be very, very happy. But I never thought that this being topper can also bring some agitation. So we are living in this world of duality where we can imagine about the things, right? Even our advertisement industry, the hoardings, the people who talk about it, or the people who advertise in a different ways, they all glamorize about so many things. And we start feeling that, okay, I will become this much happy if I achieve this. Okay, I will become this much happy if I have this. But ultimately, once you have it, you will realize that it is actually very little, right? For example, you are going in a desert, okay, and you have no water with you, and you've been running and walking for miles in the desert, and you could not find water. And suddenly you saw there is a helicopter coming, and on that helicopter, it is being written WATER. Now, by seeing that, you become very happy. And slowly that helicopter lands, and out of that, one person comes out and he wears a shirt. On that, it is written WATER. On his body, also, it is written WATER. And he's coming with a big jug. Okay. And on that jug, also, it is written WATER. So you're looking water at everywhere. So he comes and he smiles at you and he pours water. And with lot of anticipation, lot of excitement, lot of enthusiasm, you fold your hands to receive the water so that you can drink and quench your thirst. But for your surprise, what happens is from that big jug, only 2-3 drops come out. And you try to drink it, but more than drinking, you're frustrated, right? Because in anticipation, you thought your thirst will be quenched. Okay, you will be satisfied, but he has bought only 3 drops. And he just went back in the helicopter, and that helicopter is gone. Now, this is actually happening in our life. We do a lot of hard work, we do go through a lot of struggle, but we actually get only little happiness, very temporary, fragile happiness, right? Just like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was trying to become the topper, he struggled, he worked very hard. But the happiness that he got, and in comparison to his hard work, is actually nothing. Only few people actually didn't recognize or didn't appreciate him, and that become a reason for his depression or reason for his agitation, isn't it? So this is the world which we are living in. And when we go through the scriptures, when we go through Krishna conscious journey, we will realize actually Krishna consciousness is actually reverse. We do little and Krishna reciprocates so much, right? In the material world, in the material activities, we do a lot to gain some little happiness. But in the spiritual life, even if you do little, you'll actually get appreciated by Krishna, sometimes through devotees, sometimes through Krishna creating some favorable conditions to you. So some or other way, you will see that Krishna's reciprocation with you for your hard work is so disproportionate, right? Transcendentally disproportionate. You will feel like, I did just this only, but Krishna has given me this much, right? In the material life, what happens? We do a lot and we get in return this much only, right? Very little, and we are frustrated and we get dejected. We'll get discouraged to, enthusiastically participate and initiate something or continue something, because what I'm getting nothing in comparison to what I'm working. So when you understand, or when you get this knowledge that Krishna's reciprocation is so amazing, right? We hear the story of Sudama. He actually bought little, a morsel of chipped rice, and for that, in reciprocating to that chipped rice, Krishna has given him so much of opulences. And even after giving that, he was not satisfied. Krishna was not satisfied. Okay. Actually, Sudama didn't go and he offered his, the chipped rice, a morsel of chipped rice, to impress Krishna or to get something in return, right? He actually, his wife was insisted, your friend is Krishna, he's Dwarkadish. Okay. So why don't you go and ask? We are going through this much of poverty, and we are not having anything to eat also. So you have such a rich friend. Okay. He's so rich that he's the Lakshmipati. Okay. So why don't you go and ask him a favor? So he didn't wanted to ask something, because the devotees, they always think about what I can give to Krishna. They don't think about what I can take from Krishna. One day, Srila Prabhupada was being asked, Prabhupada, what is Krishna consciousness? Right? So that time, generally Prabhupada, sometimes for one question, Prabhupada have multiple answers, okay, in different occasions. But on that occasion, he said, if you are going in front of the deities, if you are standing in front of Radha and Krishna deities, and if you feel like Krishna is asking, what are you doing to me, or what are you doing for me, then you consider that you are Krishna conscious. Why? Because every time we go in front of the deities, in front of Radha Krishna, we ask, Krishna, I'm chanting this much, I'm reading this much, I'm listening to classes, I'm doing so much. What are you doing for me? Right? My problems are still like that only. My job has not improved, my relationship has not improved, my health has not improved. What are you doing for me? So this is what we are asking. So Prabhupada is giving the reflection of this, right? He's telling, like, you have to be Krishna conscious, means you have to ask Krishna, what I can do for you. You will not ask what Krishna you are doing, what you are doing for me, right? So similarly, the Sudama never had an intention, never had a thought like to take something from Krishna, right? He could have simply went and asked and Krishna would have given, right? Krishna gives to demons like many people, okay? And then what to talk about devotees? Definitely he'll give, right? But this guy, the Sudama, though he is poverty stricken, he doesn't want anything. But his wife was insisting, so he also thought, like, okay, maybe by this reason, I'll try to meet Krishna at least. I can have his darshan. Okay, it's been long time. So he started his journey. But then he thought, like, I am going to meet Krishna, but I should give something, like it is a proper etiquette. And when you are going to meet someone whom you love, whom you like, we should present them some gift. We should take something, right? That is why in our culture, we see that when the relatives or friends come home, they bring something. They bring fruits or something for our children or for us, like that. It is not that we are in need of that, but that is the expression of love, expression of affection that they have, right? So similarly, Suvatama thought, let me, take something, but he had nothing. So he borrowed that chipped rice and he has given to Krishna. Actually, he doesn't want it to give, because after seeing the opulences and the position where Krishna is, he thought, like, it will be an insulting if I give this chipped rice like that. But still, Krishna asked, like, what did you bring to me, right? Aap kya laaye ho mere liye? And he was hesitating, but Krishna took and he ate. And the moment he ate, his opulences of Sudama grown like anything, right? And Krishna, even after giving a lavish house, lot of jewelry, dresses, lot of servants, all of them manifested over the place of Sudama. Sudama doesn't know this, right? So when he goes back home, he does know, okay? But even during that time, Krishna was not satisfied. Krishna was thinking, actually, the Sudama gave me something which doesn't belong to him. He borrowed what he gave to me, right? So if I want to reciprocate my love and affection towards him, I should also give him something that doesn't belong to me. Then only that reciprocation will be balanced. But the problem is, everything belongs to me only. So there is nothing in this world or in the spiritual world which doesn't belong to me. everyone, everything belongs to me only. So Sudama's debt. So I am always indebted to Sudama because he has given me something which doesn't belong to him, only to please me, right? And I am not able to please him by giving something which I don't have. I just gave some part of what I have, but he has given everything, and beyond that, he has given what doesn't belong to him. So this much reciprocation Krishna has for his devotees. We do little seva, we get lot of appreciation from the devotees, we get lot of encouragement from the devotees to continue the good work, right? So generally, when you want to be a satya vakya, that means if you want to be truthful, honest, so in this material world your honesty will not be valued, right? They will say, your seniors will say, are ye, this zamana is not for honest people, right? If you're honest like this, if you only tell truths, you will not grow. See why people are poor, because they speak truth. Why people are poor? Honesty doesn't work. You have to manipulate, right? Some maliciousness has to be there for the growth. Okay, so सीधे उंगली से घी नहीं निकलती है, घी को मतलब उंगली को टेढ़ा करना चाहिए, right? So they say like you have to have changes in your character. So even if it takes to lie or cheat someone, that's fine, man. Everyone is doing. Why you are trying to be a Satya Harishchandra, right? So nobody encourages you to be dharmic or you to be religious or to be very honest, authentic, right? Ethical, moral, right? All these are not so valued. Maybe some senior people in our family, some good people in the society, they may value, but majority doesn't care. They say like the cure for everything is money, and as long as you are making money, whatever you do, that is right. Okay, when we were in the business, we being told that money always rules. So if you have money, everyone listen to you, right? But if you are poor, no one listens to you, right? So that kind of philosophy is going on in the market. So that is why when we try to be good, we don't find any encouragement, right? And we lose enthusiasm, and we also try to sustain our war, okay, in front of people, but somehow we are not internally contentful, right? We are not satisfied. But when we come to Krishna consciousness, then we are always appreciated about all these values. Oh, you are ethical, you are moral. So much of corruption goes into your department, but you still don't take any money. You are against corruption. That's a wonderful quality. Krishna will be pleased with you. Don't worry, you may not get to in terms of money or in terms of all other material things which others can see, but Krishna will reward you in different ways. He'll give you the knowledge, he'll give you the strength to continue on this path. So devotees will encourage all these values. And the greatest wealth, generally when we talk about wealth, we see like, how many cars I have, how many houses I have, how much bank balance I have, how many things I bought, right? And how much envy I can see in others' eyes when they come to me, because I am so much grown, I'm so much famous, I'm so much great, right? So all of this are considered as wealth in this material world. But the real wealth is that hope. Okay, the real wealth is that I am hopeful of my future, and I'm always hopeful that things can get better. And surprisingly, in the material world, after having many opulences, also many people are hopeless. Those who are getting into depression, those who have suicidal tendencies, those who have stressed, or those who have mental disorders are all not poor people or middle class people. There are very high class, very highly rich, aristocratic family background, so much of wealth, so many things are there, but still they don't have a hope, right? To live fully, to live happily. So actually, Krishna consciousness gives you a great hope. Even in the midst of so many challenges, you will be hopeful, right? So many people think that, Krishna consciousness means struggle will be there. But actually, the struggle is to gain something very, very big. So much big that even nothing can buy. The bhakti, the Krishna consciousness has the potency to buy God, right? In Hindi, it says that bhakti से आप भगवान को खरीद सकते हो, because Lord becomes sold out, right? He sold out so much that Arjuna has chosen Narayan over Narayani Sena. When there was a challenge to choose Narayan or Narayani, Krishna gave an option when Duryodhana and Arjuna met him for the alliance. Then Krishna told, "See, you both are relatives to me, so I can stand on one side, and my army will stand on the other side. me and my army will not fight from the one end only, right? So now you have to choose whether you want me or you want my army. And one more condition, even if you choose me, I will be a non-combatant. I will not fight. I will not lift any weapon. I can be an advisor, I can serve in different ways, but I won't be the combatant. So then Duryodhana thought like it's a clear choice that I want his army only. What I will do by choosing Krishna, right? So, but the option to choose was given to Arjuna first. So then Duryodhana was thinking, oh, I lost the army because any sane man, okay, जिसको भी थोड़ा सा भी दिमाग है वो आर्मी को ही चुनेगा. He will select army only. No one will choose Krishna. That's what he was thinking because Duryodhana was always materialistic, right? Now, when the choice was given to Arjuna, without blinking a moment, without a skip of a beat, he actually told, "Oh Krishna, I want you." Okay, so no other consideration. So then Duryodhana inside was filled with joy because voluntarily now, involuntarily he got the army. Right? He did not ask for it now. Okay. But inside he was happy, but outside he was telling, okay, so if Arjuna has chosen you, then what is left for me? Only the army, right? I'll take the army. So as if he done some sacrifice, right? But inside he was very, very happy. So when he went back to the Kuru camp, and he was telling, now our jeet is paki, our victory is inevitable. How? Because I got the biggest army, huge army of Narayani, right? Narayani Sena, I got it. Okay. So we will win. Now he was actually thinking like that, but Bhishma was thinking like, what is the use of Narayani Sena without Narayan? So you made a foolish choice. Even if Bhishma says this, the Duryodhana is not in a condition to understand it, right? So similarly, when we look from the outside, when we see people leaving their jobs, leaving their businesses, leaving their desires to make more money and practicing Krishna consciousness, serving devotees, menial services also when people are doing in Krishna consciousness, those like, IITians, okay, some of them had amazing jobs, amazing careers. They left everything and they become brahmacharis, right? They become dedicated devotees in ISKCON. So when we see them, like, firstly we'll be surprised. Many people are aspiring to have such career, and these people are leaving that career to serve Krishna, to become a devotee, to become a monk. So it is very surprising because we are always looking from a material perspective. For us, the real wealth is always the money. What is tangible, what is visible to our eyes, that is the wealth. But the real wealth is actually hope. They have hope, and the best part is they give hope to many other people. There are many suicidal interventions done even by a indirect class from devotees. Many people shared their experience that, I was planning to commit suicide this night, but one of my friend told, there is a class in the nearby temple, why don't you come and listen? I thought, okay, however I am dying, so let me go and check, and after that I can continue with my plan. And I came there, I heard the class, and I realized that actually I'm not this body, I'm the soul. Even if I kill myself, this body will be killed, not the soul. I have to take one body again, and this misery continues. So I thought I can actually choose wisely. I can do something more, right? So there was a person who was locked in, his whole car, okay? And the devotee who was a brahmachari, he was doing the book distribution, okay? And he was almost tired, okay? But then he thought like, someone is sitting in the car alone. So why don't I just preach and give him the book, okay? So he was asking to lower the window, and this guy was not lowering. Okay, he was telling like, just get lost, go out, okay, don't disturb me and all. So this devotee asked two to three times, he was insisting, but he was not giving any positive response. So finally he thought, see, he is however not taking no. What I'll do is some, Krishna inspired such amazing thoughts comes to devotees. He just kept the book on the windshield, okay, and he left. Okay, he didn't take any money. He just kept a small book and he left. Now the person sitting inside, he was thinking, what was that? I didn't expect, I didn't see this coming. So then he lowered the window, he took the book and he just opened. And the first line was, everybody in this material world are miserable. And that one line has cancelled all his plans to commit suicide. He was actually planning to completely close all the windows and put some AC, malfunction is AC, and he wanted to die inside the car. And he just read that one line, and he realized that, I was thinking I was miserable, and I am the only person miserable, everyone is happy. But actually this book says everyone is miserable in the material world. Then everybody should commit suicide. So why only I have to commit suicide, right? So there must be something more. So then he searched the temple, he devotee, and he came and he cancelled his plans. He also became a devotee and he flourished in life, right? So one act of the devotee has given the hope to the person who wanted to commit suicide, right? So this knowledge that everybody is miserable in the world, we actually forget. We see Facebook, we go to social media, we see happy faces and we think they are happy, we are miserable. But actually so many miseries are there behind those faces. But just because they are showing the smiling face, we feel like they are enjoying and we are not enjoying. Everybody is struggling, everybody have miseries in this world. This is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Krishna refers this world as it's a place of misery, it's an ocean of misery, and it is temporary. Nothing stays here permanently, nothing happiness, something like happiness you can get here. So this realization actually gives the higher taste, right? I was thinking that I will go after all these things to become happy in the world, but even after getting all that, I will not become happy. So what I will do, I will reduce my struggle and I'll try to do something more worthy, right? So when people talk about spirituality, they have a misconception that spiritual people are not ambitious. No, spiritual people are ambitious, but they have higher ambitions, right? They don't just think about themselves. I want to become a rich man. No, Krishna conscious people, they think, let me give the richest man to everyone, right? Who is that richest man?
Krishna.
Krishna, the
Krishna.
Lakshmipati, right? So Krishna has all six opulences in full: beauty, fame, wealth, knowledge, right? Renunciation, strength, everything. And everyone wants that only, right? Everyone is going after name and fame. Krishna, you just, you start preaching about Krishna, you will become famous. Your name will be actually glorified. Why? Because you are Krishna conscious. Okay. No matter materially where you are poor or rich, people don't care as long as you are talking about Krishna, right? Because your money and your position cannot give happiness to others. Even our money and our position may give envy to others. They may become jealous. They may have some kind of, different feeling with us. But if we start giving them Krishna, no, they'll start loving us. They don't care, like, whether you have money, what position you are, what caste you are, who you are, what background you have. All those doesn't matter. Maybe it's secondary. Okay, if you are educated, you are from a good family, that's good. But the best part is, what I care about is how much you can give Krishna to me. See, when you are going to a doctor, we are not concerned much about his wealth, but we are more concerned about how he can cure our health. So if the doctor may be sitting in a normal dispensary, but if he has the potency or the knowledge to cure our health, we doesn't care much about it. Why? Because our health is important. Imagine you going to a very lavish hospital, five-star hotel-like hospital. The doctor is like a handsome hunk and he gives the medicine, it doesn't work for you. How much do you care about that hospital and that doctor, right? Okay, he may be handsome hunk, he may be sitting in a very lavish office or lavish hospital, but his medicines are not curing me. How long I can admire the opulences, right? The purpose is to get cured, isn't it? So similarly, in Krishna consciousness, we'll understand that till now I was thinking that making money is the solution, but actually it can be the source of problem also. So I should not find happiness only in the material things. Material things are important, they are necessary. We need the food to eat, we need a shelter to live, we need clothes to wear, but these are all necessities. I need not try to squeeze happiness from them, right? Rather I should try to satisfy my spiritual needs. I am not only the body, right? I am a soul. So what souls need is Krishna's association, right? And the more we associate with the devotees, the clarity will increase, right? Actually, there are amazing people in ISKCON or in any devotional path which is authentic. They are so much great people. Like 2 years back, when I was given this Gita Sadhaka English, earlier I used to take this class. Now I'm more focused on Telugu and Hindi. So I was taking a class, and one of my senior Prabhuji, who is our Shiksha Guru also, His Grace Vardhakrishna Prabhuji, he told, like, another person is there. He will also sometimes take class in this same batch. Okay. So I asked, who is that Prabhuji? Then he said, his name is this, and he is the COO. Okay. So we know CEO, CTO, and COO, right? So Chief Operations Officer in a company. So COO is a very big position. Okay. And he is ready to take class here voluntarily. Okay. And he will be sharing the class with me. Okay. That means I have no kind of education or no kind of position to share space with him, right? But same class, I will give 1 week and he will give 1 week. That means we are on the same level, right? We are taking the same batch. So that means that kind of amazing person also can come down and share the knowledge about Krishna by forgetting what all his opulences. That actually gives us the realization is like, our material position may be important to certain extent only. But in Krishna consciousness, those all things are actually gets nullified, right? As long as his COO experience and his opulences are used in the service of Krishna, they are really great. But if they are not, are conducive to get used in the Krishna consciousness, that has no value, right? So by associating with the devotees, by knowing these wonderful devotees, by going through the scriptures, by having this kind of realizations, our taste will become higher, right? We will understand what kind of food we are eating and how much that is affecting our consciousness, and we start learning about the food that can be ate in the mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Then what kind of happiness we should choose. Happiness is also in the modes, right? In the mode of goodness, it is different happiness. In the mode of passion, in the mode of ignorance, that is different happiness. Then we'll start thinking, oh, till now I was enjoying, or I was aspiring for the enjoyment in the mode of passion and ignorance. That is why it is lasting very little time. It is not lasting long. So there is something called as happiness in the mode of goodness, and there is happiness in the mode of pure goodness, that is transcendental happiness, right? Where Krishna reciprocate with us. So there are very high levels. I am just settling to cheap things, cheap level from very long time. When there is a higher taste is available, why not aim for it? However, we are struggling, right? Why not struggle to get a higher taste, right? So when we get this knowledge, when we get this association of great devotees, our conceptions will change. We had so many misconceptions that will alter, right? And we had so many aspirations that will also change. The quality in the aspirations will increase. We were actually aiming for the rolled gold or something brass. But by becoming Krishna conscious, we'll see, like, why not aim for the diamonds? Why not aim for the platinum? Why not aim for the gold? Why to settle with this rolled gold, right? So this happiness that is available in this material world, it is like a rolled gold, right? It is like the reflection of gold. It looks like gold, but it is not gold, right? But what is the real gold? That is there in the spiritual life only, right? So here only some sukha will be there, pleasure will be there, something. Okay, that means the absence of displeasure or absence of inconvenience is actually here called as happiness. Okay, so as long as we are not having any inconvenience, we are happy. Okay, but in a few moments the inconvenience will start placing in our life, right? So here the happiness is not there. Okay, it is very disheartening to hear that there is no happiness, but the real happiness search can begin in this world, and we all have the eligibility, we all have the resources to take that higher taste. Many people in the US were involved in the counterculture. Those were called as hippies in the 1960s. And all of them had all the bad habits. Okay, the four regulative principles which we talk about: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication, all of them, they were into it. Their only regulative principle was to break all the regulative principles. And that kind of society they were building, and all the rest of the population was actually getting headache through them, right? They were thinking how to solve these people, right? They are taking to wrong path. They are not following the so-called American dream, to study well, educate well, get a good job, settle well, enjoy the life. That is not they are doing. right? Because these people have saw their parents and grandparents and they saw there is no happiness, so they wanted to experience something different. So they took a different path and they came to know, like, if we have drugs, then we will be very high, and then we can have some spiritual experience, something inconceivable experience we can have it. So they started taking drugs and intoxication and everything, right? So everybody was actually getting the headache and they were actually displeased with all this behavior. So they have no idea. And that time, Srila Prabhupada has entered in the America, right? 1960s, 65, 66, that time. Okay. And Srila Prabhupada has solved the biggest problem which people are facing. He actually didn't tell anyone directly that you should give up this, because that is the same thing everyone else was telling, right? When someone is alcoholic, he will get suggestions from everyone that, you should give up drinking, you should give up drinking, you should not do this, this is not good for you. So many people will tell. But Srila Prabhupada has given something different. He has given them the higher taste. Everyone was joining Srila Prabhupada's movement and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, without even understanding who is Krishna, what is Hare, what is Rama, who is this old man. They don't understand anything. Still, they were enjoying, they were having the bliss. Why? Because Krishna was reciprocating with them. And it was erupted from the Mukha or Mukha Aravinda of a Shuddha devotee, pure devotee. So Srila Prabhupada was chanting that mantra, they were following. So his purity made that purest form of Krishna more accessible for all of them to have the pleasure. And that's how they were become joyful. And they were just singing and following Srila Prabhupada, right? And gradually they gave up all the bad habits, okay, and they become great Vaishnavas. Today we have so many gurus in ISKCON who are like, the foreigners who doesn't know about spirituality much, but they took Srila Prabhupada seriously. They have experienced Krishna, they got the higher taste, that they given up everything. Prabhupada was telling that all people are telling you to give up something, but they are not telling you what to take up, right? So we can ask our child to give back our money. Sometimes, children will take our purse and they will take some money out. They don't understand the value of it, right? Sometimes they take our necklaces or gold or something and they'll try to play. So if you ask them to give back, they'll say, "Nahi, no, I'll not give, I'll not give." But in return, what we will do? We'll say like, "Okay, I'll give you a chocolate. Okay, so you give me that back." So we give them chocolate and they give it back. So what is happening is, now here at least the thing is very high of value. Sometimes children will pick up some dirty things also and we'll ask them to leave, still they keep it. Because the more we tell them to give up, they will feel like, they'll get more attached to it, right? So similarly, these hippies were actually getting attached to all these habits because at least through that habits, they were having some experience of happiness. It is not so good for them, but at least being in the world without all these habits was becoming more intolerable to them. So that is why they were habituated to this and they were having some pleasure in that, some bliss in that. And if people are telling to give up that, they say like, this is the only thing I have. If you ask me to give up, what else I can have? Isn't it? So Srila Prabhupada understand this. See, pure devotees understand everyone's condition. As Krishna knows everything, Krishna's representatives knows everything. So that is why Prabhupada has given them Hare Krishna Mahamantra first, and then he instructed them to give up all those bad habits, because that will become the obstacles in your path, right? So they had something to take up, and that is why they could give up something which is lower. So if you want to have higher taste, you have to associate with the devotees, you have to go through the scriptures, you have to study them, you have to hear them, you have to chant Hare Krishna, the ABCD, what we say in our devotional life, that we have to follow. And because of that, what will happen? Higher taste will start manifesting in our life. Then all the bad habits, all the bad qualities that you have automatically comes down, right? So we struggle a lot to take up a one good habit, right? Many times, the new year comes, we want to take up this resolution, that resolution, but over a period of time, resolution goes, right? and we become as it is. Who we were in 2022, we are same in 2023. Who we were in 2021, we were same in 2022. So our resolutions will last for some time only. Why? Because to have good habits, we need knowledge and we need power. So this knowledge or intelligence and this power, if these two are there, then only we can convert a bad habit into a good habit, right? So the scriptures, Krishna Devotees Association will give these two. They'll give the intelligence and they'll also give the power to convert, right? So if you want to say something, no to some external thing, internally, if we have an yes, if we do not have enough power, our past habits will tell us like, all these days you have done, now you are saying you don't want to do, how this is justifiable? Let's do it for one last time. So like that last time, one last time will become the regular one, right? So we don't have enough power to resist from something. Okay, but this chanting, this classes and this association will give us the strength, the power to say no to the bad things, and will give us the power to say yes to the good things. And once we start doing good things, the joy that we experience, we will start feeling like, why I am wasting my time in some lower things, some cheap, petty things, when I can have this much quality time. So gradually, and after that, there will be no more austerity. You can easily say no to the bad things. You can easily say yes to Krishna's service, right? Many devotees share their experience that they were hardcore non-vegetarians, they were hardcore meat eaters, intoxicators before coming to Krishna consciousness. Now even if they are sitting at some place and beside them someone is eating something or someone is drinking, then they don't feel like anything, right? They don't have any feeling like I am missing them or I want to taste them, I want to drink them. They say I actually lost the taste. Now even if someone gives me the chance, even someone comes as a senior and tell, now you are very pure, you can do all the bad habits, still you will become, you will remain pure. If someone tells like that also, we don't prefer to do it because now we are not interested. Earlier I used to get pleasure in that, but now I am getting the higher taste, so I don't feel like doing it, right? So these were the real experiences, right? I was enjoying the benefits of lying. I was enjoying the benefits of cheating others. I was enjoying the benefit of, putting others down. I was enjoying the benefits of, having some lavish food, even though it is prohibited, even though it is not good, I'm still okay with that because I was enjoying. I was okay with all that. But now I'm not okay with all that, right? It is not that externally rules and regulations are imposed, but internally itself, I don't feel like doing it. So who is making this shift? Krishna is actually removing the taste from our tongue, removing the taste from our eyes, our ears, our heart for all those lower things. So there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Shrunvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridaya antasto hi abhadrani vidhu noti suhurutsatam. So Shrunvatam swakatha Krishna. So when we hear the pastimes of Krishna, the glories of Krishna, the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, what happens? Punya shravana kirtana. So that is very auspicious. And hridaya antasto hi abhadrani. The abhadra means that which is inauspicious, which is not good, that will be cleansed. Vidhunoti suhrutsatam. So that will get cleansed. Okay. So when all these desires for lower things get cleansed, we automatically don't feel like taking something which is lower. So this Krishna consciousness gives the higher taste. And because of that, niraharasya dehinah, the deprivation of feeling. See, if you are new devotee and if I tell you to do certain things, okay, you will feel like, oh, they are actually depriving me from my enjoyment. That feeling may come. Okay, that is why you feel like hungry. See, there is biological hunger, okay, and we have to eat, otherwise we cannot survive. But there are sensual hunger. Oh, I want to see this, I want to hear this, I want to taste this, right? Some people are not hungry, some people are hungry for pizza. Some people are hungry for gulab jamun. Some people are hungry for a hamburger. Or some people are hungry for this item, that item. Okay. And if you ask them to eat rice or dal or chapati, they will say, no, no, I am hungry for something different. Like my son is there. He will come. आज कुठतरी स्पेशल खायचंय मला आज काहीतरी स्पेशल करा. In Marathi he says, I'm feeling to like to eat something very special. I'm hungry for that some special thing. right? So that is kind of hunger we have in our senses. Even if you don't satisfy them, you don't die. But if you don't eat, biologically you are hungry. If you don't eat, you will die. But indriyas, the senses, if you don't satisfy them also, you will not die. But they will create an impression in your consciousness as if you don't do it, you will die. Right? So much of craving will come. You know, the person who has a craving, he forgets the consequences. Those who are addicted, they have incessant, irreversible or irresistible craving for that. मर जाऊंगा फिर भी चलेगा लेकिन मेरे को चाहिए पीने के लिए, right? So sometimes the craving is hard, very strong, cannot resist. They will say like it is okay to die because by not taking, I'm feeling like dying now itself, right? So if I take it, I may die little later, but if I don't take it, I will die now only. So that kind of feelings we will have through the senses. But over a period of time, what will happen? Krishna will cleanse all this, right? Cheto Darpana Marjana will happen. The cleansing of our consciousness will happen. Then we will start feeling like Krishna consciousness is a joyful process. Actually, Krishna consciousness is a joyful process. Okay, the easiest, not like Ashtanga Yoga, which Srila Prabhupada says. Ashtanga Yoga, you have to follow so many rules and regulations. Okay, it is not possible for us. Krishna consciousness, easiest, surest, joyful process, but still we have struggle. Why? Because we are attacked by so many lower desires. So Krishna will make our journey very, very joyful. The more you grow in Krishna consciousness, the more you'll appreciate yourself. Many people who are little senior in the Krishna consciousness, they will say like, oh, I would have started this journey very early. How many of you are feeling like that? You could have become devotees very long back. You would
I
have joined Krishna. You feel, right? So
yes,
many
Some
people
other
feel it actually. If you're
totally.
not feeling it, then maybe you are very new and you are just in the verge of deciding whether this is a good thing or not. Let me take up this or not. That's fine. But over a period of time, you'll realize because so many things you will never imagine. Krishna reciprocate in such a way that you will start feeling like, why people are doing like this with me in a very positive way, right? So yesterday there was a session, the first anniversary of our Krishna Swaram class where a Mataji teaches Kirtans. So that Mataji was doing these classes because I told her like, you are good at singing and I thought like I should make people learn Kirtans, but I'm not finding time. At least you can do it. Like that I told, okay? And she continued very sincerely. It's been 1 year, around 40 people are joining. And she was telling, because of you, I started, and because of you, this is nothing. I was telling, like, no, I just told, okay, it is because of you that you sincerely doing it. And when she was telling and giving so much of appreciation, I was feeling like I did little. I was telling an example. Sometimes when you don't find an address, you ask a person, then he will say, take right, and then after few steps, take left. Then your destination will be there. Okay. And if you start appreciating and glorifying that person, this person has told me take right and left. Because of that, I'm here. Whatever I'm able to enjoy here, experience here because of that person. If you start telling like that, then it feels like, oh, that person didn't do this much, right? So similarly, you'll start feeling like, I did just this much of direction and given one instruction and you have taken it, right? So in the material world, what happens? We want credit for everything. Okay. Even if we do little bit, we want some more credit. But in spiritually, we feel like, that joy of having credit is still a lower desire. It's okay if someone appreciates or not, but if someone appreciates more, we will have a fear like, I may become proud and I may start thinking that I am great and I did this and all, right? We always have a fear. Being a devotee, getting an appreciation is a very fearful position, because when we may start feeling like, aham, I am the person who is doing it. If not me, this would have not done. If we start getting that feeling, we'll fall down in the bhakti. So we are always afraid. So when someone appreciates, then we will start feeling like it is disproportionate. Okay. But in material world, material life, we have a hankering. I want appreciation. I want appreciation. I want people to recognize what I did. Here in devotional life, you'll say like Krishna knows everything. Sarvasya chaham ridhi sanya vishto. He actually seated in everyone's heart. He knows everything, what we are doing, what we are not doing, what we can do, what we cannot do, what we want, what we don't want, what we like, what we don't like. Everything he knows. Every word that we speak, he knows. Every word that is unspoken is still he knows. So he knows everything. So what I am doing, he is knowing it. He will recognize, he will reward me. I am okay with everything. And this actually sets in so much of peace, so much of happiness that you'll feel like I don't need to run after the things. I will have ambitions. I will try to work hard. I'll try to become better. But I need not to hanker for happiness, or I need not squeeze happiness from material things. I don't want to go through that struggle. Rather than taking, I want to give something to others. And there is a lot of joy in giving. And this is the higher taste that you will get. Okay. So Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinaha Rasavarjam Rasopyasya Param Drishtva Nivartate. So when we give up the sense objects, there will be still hunger in the senses. But that hunger can be restricted for some time, but that can be mitigated by giving a higher taste. Rasopyasya. So their desire will be there, the taste will be there for the lower things. That can be removed by giving Param Drishtva Nivartate. Give the higher thing, lower thing we will give up. Just like we gave up the toys. Today we are not interested in playing with the toys, right? Now we are interested to play with people's lives actually, right? Isn't it? So earlier, like we used to fight for a toy. Now we fight for a property, we fight for a promotion, we fight for some this thing, that thing. So our fights, the quality is different. Our desires are now different. Our playthings are different, isn't it? So we have given up the lower things. Why? Because we got some higher taste. Earlier we had taste in toys. Now we don't have taste in toys. We have toys like car, house, and all, right? So here also materially there is a shift. But Krishna is talking about the shift from material to spiritual. We are having shift in a horizontal way. Okay, I'm had this much, I want this much, this much. But Krishna is talking about you had this much, now you have this much. Like it's a vertical upgradation that Krishna is talking about. Look above the material things and look within to have the spiritual experience. So that is Param Drishtva Nivartate. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. If you have any comments or questions, you can ask. We'll try to answer. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, Vasanta Mataji, we'll share the recording. Please subscribe the channel Gauranga Vani. We will be uploading our classes there. Any other questions or something? Anyone would like to say something, ask something? If you cannot ask, you can put in the chat box. That is also fine. Okay, what we will do is we'll chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra so that we will all will wake up. Okay, so please unmute and say along with me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I'm happy. Some people are there. I thought I was the alone. Yeah. Nikhil Prabhu has shared the link. You can subscribe the YouTube channel, which we are having. So there we will upload the classes. Okay. Any questions? Any comments?
I didn't really get this class, Prabhuji, because I am like, last time I told you now about my chips addiction. So I definitely needed this class. So yeah, I'll try to control. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Jayalakshmi Mataji. मेरे मना చెప్పాలనుకున్నారా? Okay.
Hare Krishna Vaidya, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Okay. No one has question.
Question that tortoise you said, na Prabhuji, is that a rabbit and tortoise story, Prabhuji, or what?
No. That is a different. That is slow and steady wins the race. Not the model we are telling here. You know, this tortoise, it actually withdraws all his limbs when it sees the danger, or when it senses the danger, or somewhere it want to rest or it want to protect itself. It will withdraw its senses, right? So it withdraws its legs, its head, its limbs, all that. So like that, a devotee or a self-realized person, what he sees some sense enjoyment thing or sense object. he will just restrict. Like, if if the male is there, and a male is always having an attraction towards the opposite sex. So when some female is going, okay, then he knows if I look at her, I may get some lusty desires and all. So what I'll do, from the far distance only, I'll just turn away. Okay, I don't want to look, because in the further verses we'll see that dhyato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshopajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate. So by seeing, by contemplating, we develop desires. So the self-realized person, what he does, he cut the chain there only. If I see, then only I will contemplate, no? Then only I'll get the desire, no? I'll not see it all. So he will just turn somewhere and all, and he goes. But that is the weakness in this strategy. The problem is we cannot move in this world with closed eyes. Everywhere there will be sense objects. So that is why Krishna talks about higher taste. Right nowadays also, like so many amazing brahmacharis who've been in ISKCON or who've been in any of the Vaishnava parampara. Okay, so they have practiced Krishna consciousness for a very long time. Even if they interact with any women or something, they don't develop any kind of desire. They just see them as a soul, and they just want to help them. In general, brahmacharis don't interact with women, right? But even if some occasion comes where they had to interact, they are in a senior position or something, then they have passed that stage where they see a woman or get some lusty desires, or where a woman is there who gets her lusty desires by seeing a man like that. Okay, so Krishna has given that example, like that you should try. But apart from that also, you should try this, because we should never be overconfident that now I have a higher taste. Even if I look at, or even if I contemplate, I won't get a desire. So we should not be overconfident. Okay, we should try that tortoise thing also. We should try this also. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Krishna.
Welcome, Atashi. Prabhuji, how do we not lose interest in things like interest in studies? How do I find higher taste? Can't use microphone right now. Okay, if you can hear Bharat Prabhu, see how you can develop higher taste for studies. See, purpose actually drives us. Okay, many students forget that, or they are not aware about what their studies can give to them. Okay, see, if we are not studying well, first thing, we will not develop determination or a discipline. Okay, so we cannot say that studies are boring, or even though after listening classes, reading Bhagavad Gita, some people will say these are all material things only. No, even Bhagavad Gita is saying we have to give up material things, so studies are also material. No, right? So they are material, but if your vision is spiritual, even that material will become spiritual. If you think like if I study well, if I become an educated person, then I will develop determination and discipline, and with this determination discipline, I can actually grow in Krishna consciousness by studying the scriptures also. So if I don't develop the habit of studying my textbooks, how can I develop the habit of reading Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam? And if I don't read, if I don't have a discipline and determination, how I can share bhakti to others? Right? Prabhupada says preaching is the essence. We have to learn, we have to share with others. We should not be selfish that, okay, I will only learn, I will only go to Golok, I will only get liberated. No, we have to help others to get liberated. We have to help others to experience Krishna. So my studies will help me. Okay, so you develop this interest. And see, I just told my name. I don't know whether I told my name or not. So those who are new people, my name is Sriharsh Vaidya. Okay, so my qualifications are there, like I am an MBA marketing and finance graduate, and then I have done my job in the environmental industry, and then I went on to pursue some other careers like in pranic healing, psychotherapy, neuro-linguistic programming, and then I got into this ISKCON society in 2018. I developed the interest to study the scriptures and all. So I was also being a topper in my MBA, and I was very good at my job also, all my projects also, right? And even in between I done a business also, so I could not make a lot of money over there. Even I had a lot of losses also, but I learned so many things, right? So this is a brief introduction. Okay, so how many of you felt good about this introduction?
It was good, Prabhuji. It's your experience of life. Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, now I will change my introduction. Okay, so my name is Sriharsh Vaidya, and I am actually doing this, this classes taking service and all. And if you ask my education, I actually went to school till 10th. But after failing in my 10th, I appeared for 5, 6 years. I could not clear my 10th class. So then I was thinking what to do. Then some people came to me and they told, if you are not good at anything, at least you can try in bhakti. So I tried to, try out my life in bhakti. And then I started understanding Bhagavad Gita and I liked it. So I thought I will share with all of you. So like that, I am sharing. I never done a job. I never done any business. I had no any corporate experience, no proper education, but somehow I liked it. So I am sharing it. So how many of you felt good?
I did, Prabhuji,
Me,
because
Prabhu.
I definitely did.
Yeah,
Because
Prabhuji.
after doing MBA also, you are
No,
nothing.
no, no. This,
After
this,
10,
the second introduction.
it was very beautiful, Prabhuji. I liked it.
Okay. Now think about or think like the people who are not in Krishna consciousness.
They'll feel bad.
They will not get any inspiration. Right? Some people like you
Yes.
who are matured or who have seen life so much that you understood material qualification doesn't matter. But there are very few people like you who can feel good about such bad introduction also. Material qualification still matters. I'll tell you, when I was in Krishna consciousness, when I heard about this Prabhu, okay, I'm actually forgot his name. It's Arindam Prabhu or something. So he was COO. I was fascinated, right? When when if they would have said like, he is in ISKCON from 10 years, 20 years, still I would feel okay, great. But when he said COO, then I feel like that's very rare. People will go to that kind of management position, top management position. So I was fascinated. So material things matter. Why? Because we have spent all our life learning about how to become great, and all those things of becoming great involves all these material things only: having more money, having more education, having great corporate experience, having business experience, being a COO or CEO or a vice president, all this matters to us, right? So similarly, even though we may consider Krishna consciousness is the best thing in the only thing, but for preaching others, we still have to have some qualifications. So when you are studying, don't think that the studies you are having only to get marks or to satisfy your parents or also. In future, many devotees will be satisfied through your preaching because you are a well-educated man also. Krishna doesn't care. But if this can help you in preaching and bringing people close to Krishna, then it is a wonderful opportunity, because not many people get the opportunity to study, and you are getting it. So Krishna is providing you with all the studies and facilities. So he might use all of this also, right? See, if I'm not an educated person, I cannot understand the life of educated people. And I may speak some philosophy and they will feel disconnected. Yeah, you are talking about your life, but you never went to a job. Do you know what kind of pressure there will be in the job? You are never married. Do you know what kind of pressure comes from a wife or husband? You don't have a children. You don't know what kind of struggle we have to go through with the children. You never entered into corporate. You never married. You never had children. You never went to school, never appeared for the exams. How can you understand my problem? So people want some connectedness. And if our education is good, we can get some good connection also. We can relate to people also. So everything is useful, Prabhu. So don't feel that, the studies are boring. If you feel boring, that means you are incapable to make it interesting, right? So for many people, Bhagavad Gita is boring. But when they hear some of the preachers' class, they will say, I never thought like Bhagavad Gita is so much interesting. So we have to create interest. We have to share it in an interesting way. Srila Prabhupada did that. Foreigners, they had no taste. You know what Prabhupada used to say? He asked, why do you take drugs? Then they used to say, it will take me to high. Okay, I will be high when I take the drugs. Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna, you will be high forever. Right? Because that is transcendental experience, isn't it? So Prabhupada shared in an attractive way. That guy also told, for spending so much of money for few minutes, I'm high. This person is giving me free mantra. Okay. And he's telling me I can be high forever. And he started testing. Prabhupada didn't say, this is bhakti. You have to submit to the Lord. You have to serve the Lord. The first thing, he doesn't accept there is some Lord, and he cannot accept Krishna. So we have to give them what they can accept. So Prabhupada is well versed with giving. Kisko kya dena hai, kitna dena hai. Prabhupada is very expert. Right? Sometimes, we try to give a class, and if we take a long class, no, people will be interested in few minutes, first few minutes. After that, they'll get bored. They'll start feeling like, okay, something repeating, not so interesting like that. But when Prabhupada speaks, no, he exactly knows what is the audience, how much they can hear, in what language they can understand, what example they can understand. Everything he perfectly knows. He never extends, he never actually shortens, and he never uses any examples that cannot be connected. So he's so perfect. That is why we should read Srila Prabhupada books. And then we will get the clarity. Oh, which example I have to give, in what way I have to do it, and all. So Bharat Prabhu, make your studies interesting. So much interesting that others should find interest. If Bharat, you said studies are boring, now you are studying, then you should say, I found some interesting ways, some interesting facts. Okay. If you want to know, I take my guidance. Like that, they should come to you. Okay. And you should become what you say, a different version of Bharat. Your name is amazing, actually. Bharat. Okay. So we are in Bharata. So Bha means light. The one who is engaged in bringing light in his consciousness, in his life, that is Bharat, or that place is Bharata. Okay. So live up to your name. Any other questions? Welcome, Prabhu. Good. So if no one has a question, our time is also done.
What book we should start reading, Prabhupada's book? Like, what is the first book we should?
I have shared the list of books in the groups. Please check in the group. Yesterday only I shared, I think. Yesterday or day before yesterday I have shared. Not day before yesterday. Yesterday only I have shared all the list of the books of Srila Prabhupada. I shared in Telugu, I shared in English also. I don't know the Hindi names, all the names. But if you know the English name, you can go to our gift shop in the bookstall and you can open, and there will be English name also inside the bit. Or you can ask any devotee who is guiding you in the bookstore. You tell them this name, they will give you the Hindi also. So I have already shared.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the way to Krishna, elevate to Krishna consciousness.
Yes. That is the list.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So if no one has, yes, Bhuvana Mataji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhu, మీరు చెప్పేది చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఉన్నాయి. అంటే లైక్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్, స్టోరీస్, అవి మళ్ళీ ఎలా వినేది? లైక్ క్లాసెస్ లో కాకుండా టెక్స్ట్ రూపంలో ఏమన్నా వస్తాయా?
You read Srila Prabhupada books. Actually, some of the pastimes, some of the examples, we learn from other speakers. Like I hear different speakers, especially I hear a lot from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, and I hear a lot from Gauranga Prabhu, and sometimes Braj Bihari Das Prabhu, and our, Srila Prabhupada also, there are so many lectures are there. Okay, and you can hear from our Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Param Puja Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and Radha Gopinath Prabhu. So there are amazing speakers, Amarendra Prabhu, Amog Leela Prabhu. So because some of the examples and stories, they are not in the books. Sometimes Prabhu shared in a conversation what he heard from his other books or other gurus, like that. Or sometimes some devotees share some of their experiences from their background. Just like sometimes Prabhupada says in a Bengali, there is a saying like that, he will say something. Some people from a Marathi background, they may say in Marathi, like in Marathi, we say, Ati keltar mati hote. So if you do anything excess, it will get into dust. Okay. So like the stories thing, some things you will hear only. They will not be written everywhere. And you can actually increase your bandwidth by reading more books also. Like
లైక్ అంటే లైక్ నోట్ డౌన్ చేసుకోమంటారా?
Yeah, you can. Recordings are available, no? You can note down also. I note down. Some I remember, some I note down. So after a period of time, if you hear a lot, then you can remember also, even
Okay,
without
Prabhu.
writing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Before I got this service, I had a lot of time. Then that time I used to do this only: read Srila Prabhupada books and hear the lectures and prepare the notes for that. And that time I never imagined that I'll be given an opportunity to get a class and to give a class like this and all. So whatever I did in the last 2018 to almost 2021, almost 2-3 years, whatever I did, so that is getting used now here. So that's a good thing. Maybe Krishna will use you if you can prepare yourself. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hmm.
Hare
Fine,
Krishna,
sir.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Swami Reddy Mataji. Okay, we just wanted to say Hare Krishna. Okay. So if no one has any questions, so we'll just try to sing one kirtan and we will end our class. So generally we sing kirtan so that we can learn from kirtans also.
Prabhu, I have another doubt also. Like, మనకి ఎందుకు ఐ మీన్ ఎవరిదైనా సెషన్ విన్నా ఒకరి దగ్గర నుండి విన్నప్పుడు మనకి లైక్ చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ అనిపిస్తుంది. ఇంకొకరి దగ్గర నుండి వింటే అసలు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉండదు.
Yeah.
But they are both initiated devotees. అది ఎలా అంటారు?
See, so Mataji was asking, like, is it okay if I answer in English? Because
Yeah,
this is an
Prabhu.
English class. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
So, see, Mataji was asking, like, sometimes we get inspired, we get interested in listening to one preacher or one devotee, and another person we may not be interested. Though both are initiated, like, though both are like at a good level in Krishna consciousness, but why we will have interest from one person only? Why not the other person? So actually, Krishna sends some people especially for you, right? Because everyone have their own style of sharing the Krishna bhakti. Everyone have their own background, their own way of living. Okay, so everyone is trying to follow the standards of spiritual life, but in that also there is individuality. Okay, so some style is there, some spices are there. So just like not everyone likes oranges, right? Some people like mangoes over oranges, and some
Yeah.
people may avoid or mangoes, right? But both are fruits only, and both are coming from the trees, both are coming because of the mercy of the Lord, isn't it? So the taste is different, but both are fine. Just like some people like vanilla, some people like strawberry. I don't like strawberry, right? I feel like, what is that? That smell in the strawberry ice cream, some people relish. I feel like vomiting, right? So both are ice creams, both have their own part of own share of quota, own share of customers, isn't it? So I may not like it, but still many people are there who like it. So some preachers we don't like to hear, or sometimes we might have a bad experience with that speaker. Like, if you meet me personally one day and I shout at you, okay, I become very rude with you, then you may not like my classes also in future, because that experience made you disturbed and you felt like, oh, this person is talking so many great things in the class, but in behavior his behavior is not so good, so he's just faking, he's not the same person whom I heard. You may get that feeling, and after that
Yeah.
you may not like it. So this may also happen. So anything can happen, okay? But whomever you feel interested, you can continue with them as long as they are talking in parampara. Okay, so they are in tune
Yeah,
with
Prabhu.
the Srila Prabhupada philosophy and our Vaishnava philosophy, and that's fine. Okay,
Okay, Prabhu. Hare
but you
Krishna.
respect others. See, we should never say that I didn't like his lecture or her lecture. We should say that I didn't get any inspiration from her or him.
Yeah.
Okay, because who are we to decide? Isn't it?
Yeah,
We
Prabhu.
are
Yes.
always in a judge seat. We are always the Supreme Court judge, judging everyone. Iska ye acha nahi, uska wo acha nahi hai. No, we should not sit in the judge position. We should sit in a student position and we should see like, okay, this teacher has not inspired me so much. Maybe his style is different. It is not workable for me, but I don't say it is not workable for everyone, right? So that mood you develop. I hope you have that. That is why you are asking this question. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji,
హరే కృష్ణ
please.
ప్రభుజీ మీకు మరాఠీ కూడా వచ్చా?
Marathi వచ్చు Mataji. నాది mother tongue Marathi. My mother tongue is Marathi.
ఓకే.
Yeah.
ఎక్కడ ప్రభుజీ?
Pandharpur is my ancestor's place, but I born and brought up in Telangana only. So I studied in Telugu medium. So I speak Telugu well. I have mother tongue Marathi, so I speak Marathi well. I lived in North India for a good amount of time during my job. So I learned Hindi very well. And English, everyone told if you don't learn English, you'll not be valued. So I learned English. So like that, I know this four.
గ్రేట్ ప్రభుజీ, గ్రేట్. హరే
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Mangal Aarti and Sandhya Aarti, please find out and let us know, Prabhuji, in the group.
You want the lyrics of it?
What we should sing, Prabhuji. Yeah, lyrics also. Once you shared the all lyrics with me, Prabhuji. Long time
Okay,
ago.
fine. So what I'll do is there is a KK song, so I'll just screen share. So you can also understand I'm going to sing the morning Aarti song, which will be sung in Vrindavan. So see, this is the website, KK Songs.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, in that you can search. If you go to home, you'll go a song lyrics. So through lyrics, you can find A to Z. So now I'm singing Vibhavari Shesha. So Vibhavari Shesha. Yeah, it is here like this. So what I'll do is I'll share this HTML link or this link so you can click and you can know which Aarti is what. Okay, it may take some time, but I'll prepare it and I'll send it. Okay, Mataji?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Welcome, Mataji. So this is a song written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. He's a very senior Vaishnava Acharya in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. He wrote many songs. And this is the song which will be sung in the early morning during the Mangal Aarti in Vrindavan, because it is more in a Vrindavan mood about the Vrindavan Krishna. So though it is a night time, we will try to sing this because I like this song. So is that okay if I sing? All you are okay to listen?
Shreyas Prabhu ji,
Yes,
बेटा ये
Prabhu.
केके
Yes,
सॉन्ग हिंदी
Prabhu
में
ji.
है क्या?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, क्या हुआ पद्मा कुंडी माता जी?
ये जो केके सॉन्ग आप दिखा रहे हैं वो हिंदी में भी है क्या बेटा?
हिंदी में कभी मैंने देखा है, बट इसको ठीक तरीके से मैंने पकड़ा नहीं है. बट इफ आई फाइंड हिंदी, आई विल शेयर माता जी.
ओके ओके, धन्यवाद बेटा. हरे कृष्ण.
धन्यवाद माता जी. हरे कृष्ण. मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुम लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातम हम वंदे श्री गुरुम दीनतारिणं परमानंदमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वर. विभावरे शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़े उठो जेवा. विभावरे शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़े उठो जेवा. बोलो हरे हरे मुकुंद मुरारे राम कृष्ण हाय ग्रीवा. बोलो हरे हरे मुकुंद मुरारे राम कृष्ण हाय ग्रीवा. नरसिंह वामन श्री मधुसूदन ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्यामा. नरसिंह वामन श्री मधुसूदन ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्यामा. पूतन घातन कैटभ शातन जायो दशरथी रामा. पूतन घातन कैटभ शातन जायो दशरथी रामा. विभावरे शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़े उठो जेवा. यशोदा दोलाल गोविंद गोपाल वृंदावन पुरंदर. यशोदा दोलाल गोविंद गोपाल वृंदावन पुरंदर. गोपी प्रिया जन राधिका रमण भुवन सुंदर वारा गोपी प्रिया जन राधिका रमण भुवन सुंदर वारा विभावरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़ी उठो जीवा रावणांतकर माखन तस्कर गोपीजन वस्त्रहारी रावणांतकर माखन तस्कर गोपीजन वस्त्रहारी ब्रजेर राखाल गोपवृंद पाल चित्तहरे वंशीधारे ब्रजेर राखल गोपवृंद पाल चित्तहरे वंशीधारे विभावरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़े उठो जीवा योगेंद्र वंदन श्रीनंदनंदन ब्रज जन भयहारी योगेंद्र वंदन श्रीनंदनंदन ब्रज जन भयहारी नवीन नीरद रूप मनोहर मोहन वंशी विहारे नवीन नीरद रूप मनोहर मोहन वंशी विहारे विभावरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़ी उठो जीवा यशोदनंदन कंसनिसूदन निकुंज रास विलासी यशोदानंदन कंसनिसूदन निकुंज रास विलासी कादंब कानन रसपरायण वृंदविपेन निवासी कादंब कानन रसपरायण वृंदविपेन निवासी विभावरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़े उठो जीवा आनंदवर्धन प्रेम निकेतन फूल शरयोजक कामा आनंदवर्धन प्रेम निकेतन फूल शरयोजक कामा गोपांगणा गण चित्त विनोदन समस्त गुण गण धामा गोपांगणा गण चित्त विनोदन समस्त गुण गण धामा विभावरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़े उठो जीवा जामुन जीवन केली परायण मानस चंद्र चकोरा जामुन जीवन केली परायण मानस चंद्र चकोरा नाव सुधारस गाओ कृष्ण जश राखो अचन मन मोरा मोरा नाम सुधारस गाओ कृष्ण जश राखो अचल मन मोरा विभावरे शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़ी उठो जीवा बोलो हरे हरे मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हाय ग्रीवा बोलो हरे हरे मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हाय ग्रीवा बोलो हरे हरे मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हाय ग्रीवा राम कृष्ण हाय ग्रीवा राम कृष्ण हाय ग्रीवा ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्री कृष्ण की जय।
जय
हरि हरि बोल माता
हरि
प्रभु जी।
हरि बोल
बोल।
हरि बोल प्रभु जी, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल.
Thank you so much, Matas and Prabhujis, for joining. So hope to see you on the Saturday. If Govardhan Prabhu joins, he will take the class. Otherwise, there won't be class because I will be taking Hindi classes on that day. So hopefully he joins. Otherwise, we'll have the next class on next Wednesday. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a good night. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय, जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव, जय सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, कलियुग पावन हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
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 बोल.
बोल।
हरे हरि बोल। हरे
थैंक
कृष्ण
हरे
यू
कृष्ण
प्रभु।
प्रभु जी,
थैंक
बहुत
यू।
प्रणाम. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Dandavad Pranam. Good night, Hare Krishna.
Good night. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Good night, Hare Krishna.